Day 2 of the Digital Government Transformation Project unfolded at Paradise Hall, where Digital Leadership Team showcased key initiatives shaping the future of public service. From digital identity to the first wave of digital government services, these innovations aim to make government operations faster, more efficient, and citizen-focused. Through presentations and focused discussions, leaders emphasize that real progress depends on collaboration and alignment across all ministries and departments.
Hi everyone, I'm proud to share my full support for St. Martin's Digital Transformation Project. This is not just about modernizing systems, it's about creating a government that is smart, fast, reliable, and serves our people better. But let me be clear, success will not come from technology alone. The real success lies with you, the people doing the work. Your knowledge, your ideas, and your daily work ethic will shape how this transformation takes place. This is not something happening to government. It is something we are building together. Your voices will be heard, your contribution will be valued, and your role is central to making this project succeed. Together, we are not just digitizing government, we are transforming St. Martin.
So I'd like to welcome everyone back. For those that were here yesterday, welcome back to the workshop day 2. For those that were not here yesterday, welcome for the first time. My name is Femi Badajo, as introduced by my colleague Fabiana Arnell. I'm the lead for the digital leadership team, and we've been on this journey for some time. Trying to what I normally tease with my team a lot of times, we're trying to fix St. Martin's problems, but no, it's we're trying to lay the foundation for innovation and modernization as we try to improve a lot of the processes and the systems and the way we work and serve the public. Today's workshop is really about the how we're trying to get there, how we're trying to implement things, where we are in the course of the project, and some of the bottlenecks and some of the challenges that we faced along the way. So I really hope that during the course of the day, we can connect you more to the execution side of things. We hope that you'll get a better understanding of where we are, where the bottlenecks are, where the resources that might be needed to really see the implementation succeed. Those things are really where we want to touch. And we want to align efforts across the different departments, the ministries, the organizations, to be more effective in the implementation process. So as we go through the course of the morning, you're going to hear a lot of different presentations from our project managers, from our support from the consultants that have been working with us during the course of the many years that we've been at this project. I really want to encourage you guys to ask questions, share experiences, give us your insight, because that's the only way we can work together to improve and really see a successful implementation. I hope that you can help us identify practical solutions and alignment opportunities. And remember, it's a transformation, so it's going to take some time. We're not going to get it right immediately. We've ran into our own challenges along the way, but together we would be able to see a successful implementation together. It's about coordinating effort of people, systems, and processes, and seeing how that really comes together to see this digital transformation come to fruition. At the end of the day, I hope that there's a shared understanding of the current status and challenges that we faced, clarity on the type of resources and support that's going to be needed moving forward, and a stronger alignment to improve our implementation efforts. So with that, I want to thank you, everyone, for taking the time out of your busy schedules. I know we all have quite a lot of other activities and priorities that are on our plate, but I really want to thank you for being here today. I want to thank you for sharing your expertise along the way, for your commitment and your continued collaboration. And your presence and participation really continue to show the importance of us coming together to really see this come to fruition. With that being said, I really want to wish you a good morning and thank you, and take a lot out of this as much as possible. And we hope to share a lot of the thoughts and insights along the way. Thank you.
So, yes, my name is Fabianos Fliru, but nobody calls me that. I saw what you did there, Fabi. I saw what you did there. So everybody also calls me Fabi. I was raised here in St. Martin. Most of you don't know that, but I was actually not born, but I was bred and basically born, raised in St. Martin, because since 1 year old I came here to St. Martin. So I think it's important to mention that, because hearing back what we heard from our sponsors yesterday and the content from NRD, I think there are a lot of things that are on our plate, a lot of things that are coming with this project, but it's very important to look for the cultural appropriateness of this project. So with that, I was thinking last night, what should my opening remarks be, right? And I was thinking, what is a St. Martin saying, right? That really ties what we're trying to do with this project, in St. Martin. I had a hard time finding the saying because, I don't have the books. I don't have, the St. Martin family. So I look up in the region and I found the saying in Jamaica. Maybe it applies here, but I think it is a really good saying. And the saying goes like this. So a new broom, a new broom sweep clean, but the old broom no den kahanas. So I really like that. I'm going to repeat that again. A new broom, when you buy a new broom, it's sweep clean, but the old broom no them kahanas. So it really knows the corners. And I think everybody knows that when you have a new broom, it doesn't clean the corners. So it's a simple truth, but a powerful one. And I think it applies for this project. Let me explain. So yesterday, we had a lot of content. We went really deep into the why. Why DGTP? Why digital transformation? We also heard that it shouldn't be a copy-paste solution. I think our Prime Minister was very clear on that. He said that it must reflect our culture, our people, and our way of working. We also heard from Family that, DGTP is a foundational project. This is just the start of it. We can do so much more. We also heard from NRD. We're going to hear from other firms and contractors that work has already started and there's more work to be done.
Are you SXM insured? Do you have a valid medical insurance status? SXM is cardless. Request your My SXM account today and enter the virtual office of SXM. Go to sxv.sx and sign up now.
SXM, yeah. Your social health insurances.
24/7 TV programming on www.stmartinmediacenter.com, SXM Daily News, PBS NewsHour, Now You Know, comm programs, documentary, entertainment, sports events, Saturday children's hours, religion programs, and movies. Click on SXM TV broadcast to see your favorite programs.
St. Martin, as heavy rain falls across our region, we urge all residents and visitors to exercise caution and stay alert. Here are the areas prone to street flooding, flash floods, and/or rock slides. Avoid these locations until water levels subside. Ateelage Road Roundabout, Cul-de-sac. Arch Road, Sucker Garden. Beacon Hill Road, Simpson Bay. Ateelage Road, Border Monument, Belvedere, Lower Princess Quarter. Billy Folly Road, Cole Bay. Emma Plain, Phillipsburg. L.B. Scott Road, Cul-de-sac. Rhine Road, Lowlands. Welhelican Road, Low K Roundabout, Cahill, Little Bay. Well Road, Wellington Road, and Orange Grove Road, Cole Bay. Yancho Rousquin Boulevard, Point Blanche, and Sakersgut Road, Cul-de-sac. Remember, safety comes first. Let's work together to keep our community safe. This public service announcement is brought to you by the Department of Communication.
I want to just make it known as well that we received the answers to the questions that I did pose to the minister regarding Telem, just so for my colleagues as well, so that they know. Those are in the email. They were similar questions to MP York, but that was just a statement. My question is actually, when MP York opened up the meeting, he mentioned something about the Minister of Finance being a shareholder representative. So it kind of triggered me just to make sure that the correct information is given, because do we have shareholder representatives again, or is this a matter of a minister being given the mandate to actually be the main line of communication for a government-related entity? Because according to my understanding, all communication still has to come to the Prime Minister with the CC of the actual minister responsible. So I really want to define the difference between shareholder representative and communicator. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Through you to the Minister. What are the details for the fiber to the home loan payment, and what is the turnaround plan? Secondly, Madam Chair, through you, what are the reasons that why was an extra switch purchased and put in Curacao, and is this functional? If not, why not? Thank you.
Do any of these consultants declare any tax on St. Martin? And Minister, are you open within the first half of 2026 for forensic audit on Telem? And just a follow-up on MP De Weaver's question regarding the shareholders representative, because I didn't see anything published in the Lansquedown either. So is it officially that you are the shareholder rep, the spokesperson via a common decision? So what exactly are you? Or are you the deputy prime minister? So he couldn't make it. So what is the position, and why are you representing Telem today? Thank you.
I'd also like the minister, if she could elaborate a little on what is going on with Starlink, and if there are any plans, since we're talking about the financial status of Telem and the amount of money that they're losing now. There was a discussion when I was there in the ministry to allow Starlink to make a agreement with Telem and sell, that Telem would then be the distributors of Starlink here on the island, since everyone is saying that we cannot block them because of the French side. If there are any plans to rectify that situation. Thank you, Madam Chair Lady.
And I do have more than one question, but I will state one that I have here. Is Telem in compliance with paying all their bills? Would it be possible to get a breakdown of all outstanding debts that Telem owes its creditors? And basically, how long can Telem continue in operations given their current situation?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, to the Honorable Minister of Finance, what is the process for when Telem is obtaining loans? Telem recently made a large payment to a company, and now we speak of the Villanova loan. How can we ensure that Telem can suffice these expenses or additional expenses beyond this year and coming? And two, not financial, but employee status. Is the government aware, or have the government been signaled that there's employee unrest at Telem? Very important, employee unrest. That's it, Madam Chair.
To respond to the questions posed by the honourable members of Parliament, commencing with MP York. MP York, first clarification or question was that he needed to understand why is it taking so long to select the CEO. This is a key leadership, MP York, Madam Chair, through you. And because it's key leadership, we need to execute the turnaround plan. That is step one. So the turnaround plan is needed to be done. In addition, the quick scan was completed in July. However, the presentation to the Council of Ministers wasn't until August. And so at this time, what is key first is the completion of the turnaround plan, which will then tell us exactly what is needed on a C-suite level, because you can imagine that if it is not desired to have a full C-suite, that because it's a crisis, that you would look at a crisis team instead. Exact number, next question, exact number of total consultants per project. This information I would need to get from TLM directly. Next question, are there any additional measures being considered to ensure continuity? Currently, discussions are being held with TLM to have the turnaround financial and operational plan be executed at the soonest, as this is key. In addition, TLM remains in conversations with the financiers and creditors. Question 4, a list of all that is owed to institutions and all that is owed to TLM. This information I would need to get from TLM directly. Madam Chair, MP De Weaver requested the audited financial statements from TLM. The 2023 audited financial statements will be provided, and in addition, I was informed that tomorrow, TLM's audited financial statements of 2024 will be completed, and this will also be provided once received. I move on to those questions by MP De Weaver, who wanted an update on the shareholder representatives again, or is this a matter of the minister being given the mandate to actually be the main line of communication? In fact, Madam Chair, based on the calm decision of August 2025, it was agreed that I, as Minister of Finance, will serve as the contact person for TLM, taking into account the company's financial position that needs to be addressed, while decision-making will continue at the level of the Council of Ministers. I move on to the question posed by MP Duran. What is a detailed fiber-to-home payment plan, and what is a turnaround plan? Madam Chair, details to the fiber-to-home, this information I would need to receive from TLM. The turnaround plan was a result of the quick scan, which is key to determine the financial and operational measures that need to be taken to ensure TLM's viability. I move on to questions by MP Arian. Do consultants declare taxes? Unfortunately, Madam Chair, I do not have this information. I would have to request that information from TLM. The answer with regard to the mandate of me having, or me being here, was asked by MP De Weaver, and that was also answered. Next question, is the minister open to having a forensic audit performed at TLM? If there is an indication to execute such an audit, this matter would be discussed and agreed upon at the Council of Ministers level. Next question, what exactly is the minister? And like I stated in my position here today, based on the calm decision of August 2025, it was agreed that I, as Minister of Finance, will serve as the contact person for TLM in the event a meeting is convened by Parliament regarding TLM. As Minister of Finance, I will provide the necessary responses, taking into account the company's financial position that needs to be addressed, while decision-making will continue at the Council of Ministers level. I move on to questions by MP La Cruz. What is going on with Starlink? And is there a discussion taking place about the amount of money that TLM is losing? Unfortunately, I cannot provide any information, Madam Chair, on Starlink or the impact on TLM. This is information I would have to request from TLM directly and the Minister of TIAT. I move on to questions posed by MP Lewis. Is TLM in compliance with paying of all their bills? And can Parliament receive a breakdown list of all outstanding? How long can TLM continue its operation in its current financial situation? Madam Chair, through you, there are certain outstandings from TLM to GB and BTP. A list of all outstandings I will have to receive from TLM. However, as previously stated, the financial statements of TLM will be shared with Parliament. How long can TLM continue its operations is not an answer I can provide here on the floor of Parliament. This is sensitive business information. And I move on to the questions posed by MP Otley. What is the process for TLM for obtaining loans? How can we ensure that TLM can suffice these expenses or additional expenses beyond this year? Madam Chair, through you, the quick scan was phase 1, and execution of the results as stated in the quick scan is key, one of which being the turnaround plan to ensure there is a viable plan in place to ensure TLM's continuity. And finally, is the government aware of the employee unrest at TLM? Madam Chair, through you, I am not aware of any employee unrest. However, as previously stated, we consider it important to ensure that both current and former employees are assured that they can rely on the timely payment of their monthly salaries. That comes to the end of the questions posed by the honourable MPs.
Your social and health insurance is your social and health insurance.
Are you SXV insured? Do you have a valid medical insurance status? SXV is cardless. Request your My SXV account today and enter the virtual office of SXV. Go to sxv.sx and sign up now.
Your social and health insurances.
24/7 TV programming on www.stmartinmediacenter.com, SXM Daily News, PBS NewsHour, Now You Know, com programs, documentary, entertainment, sports events, Saturday children's hours, religion programs, and movies. Click on SXM TV broadcast to see your favorite programs.
And now it starts. It was not full country status in the true sense of the word. It was and remains a constituent state instead of a country. And this because a country by definition is a well-defined territory with full political independency. By that definition, St. Martin is not a country, and that is the constitutional reality we live in today. All the changes since 1845 have influenced the dynamics of the mutual relationship among the stakeholders in the kingdom, right up to the present day. Moving forward after 10-10-10, we also made some errors, and I want you to realize what I'm telling you. We became, for example, hypnotized by the idea of independence till 10-10-10. From the very day we achieved country status, We were carried away on an emotional journey, constantly trying to prove to motherland that we could stand on our own. We were so focused on proving ourselves that we forgot something very essential: to build constructive and sustainable alliances with other Caribbean islands outside of the kingdom. It is unfortunate that it took the Trump tariff war to make us realize that we needed other countries in the Caribbean outside the kingdom to survive. What are now the lessons learned after this constitutional journey that I just explained to you? The first lesson for me and my country: independence pursued in isolation will not work for St. Martin. We cannot build our future by standing alone as we have been doing in the past 15 years. The second lesson: we must strengthen cooperation with other Caribbean islands and organizations such as the OECS and the CARICOM. The third lesson: 10-10-10 was a political decision. Please realize that, which cannot be reversed. Yet, we are still trying to do so, not realizing that it's not working anymore. The term Netherlands Antilles is gone. Yet we have reintroduced the same concept under the name CAS. For me, CAS is wishful thinking, because actually it replaced the concept of the Netherlands Antilles. It is time for St. Martin to redefine its own relationship with the Netherlands, just as Aruba and Curaçao must define theirs. Fourth lesson: we must stop looking back only to Aruba and Curaçao when questions are posed by the Netherlands to the so-called CAS Islands. We continue to hold on this romantic belief only on a shared history. Instead, we must look to our closest other neighbors, for example, the French side, Anguilla, Saba, Statia, St. Kitts, Nevis, St. Barts, and Montserrat. Actually, those islands face the same challenges that we face here in St. Martin with, for example, healthcare, education, climate change, and border control. Fifth lesson: a balanced national budget with a significant capex is the only tool that can justify a sustainable country status. However, there is a contradiction between the budget that we have, which keeps us dependent on the Netherlands, and the illusion that we have a real country budget to propel St. Martin to a true country status. You cannot build a ministry or a nation without a flatter budget. Lesson 6: you cannot build a country without a professional treasury, not to say strong human resources. 7, we have, and that is sensitive, but I still have to mention it, we have an expensive, inflated constitutional structure for only 60,000 people, creating an illusion that we are a country. We have a council of advice, a general audit chamber, an ombudsman, a social economic council, an integrity chamber, a constitutional court, council of law enforcement. We carry the burden of an expensive hydrocephalus, a waterhead, an oversized institutional head for a very small community. This makes it almost financially unaffordable for a small community. Prospects. Let's look at the future. Let's see what lies ahead. The key question is, will we remain autonomous in a constituent state, or will we one day pursue full country status? In my opinion, St. Martin has, for now, a much greater chance of survival as an autonomous constituent state than by chasing an illusion of a country status. But that can only happen if we redefine the kingdom in its entirety. I truly believe that is possible. To make this redefinition work, there are several conditions that must be met. First of all, there must come an end to the promotion of the caste construction within the kingdom. That chapter is closed. We must establish direct individual relationship between the individual overseas countries in the Caribbean and the Netherlands. Second prospect, we must put an end to the country consultation that everybody is so high about. We call that the Vierlanden overleg. The Netherlands Antilles no more exist. We have now our 4 different countries within the kingdom. It is time that our structures reflect our reality. Third prospect, the concept of a redefined kingdom must be based on differences and not on similarities. Our strength in this kingdom lies not in our uniformity and similarities, but in the diversity and the differences, in embracing what makes each of us unique. Fourth prospect, stakeholdership within the kingdom must be transformed into co-ownership. And fifth prospect, we must decolonize the lines of communication as individual countries towards the Netherlands. Today, between the government of St. Martin and the government of the Netherlands, there are at least 6 controlling and, to my idea, ineffective communication layers that weaken our dialogue and effectiveness. We have a governor, the minister of BZK, the state secretary that falls under the BZK, the Dutch CAS representative in Willemstad, the Dutch representation in Philipsburg, and finally also the minister plenipotentiary. If we truly wish to strengthen the kingdom, we must speak to each other directly as equal partners. For example, my dialogue partner as Prime Minister should be the Prime Minister of the Netherlands and not the State Secretary in the Netherlands. Sixth prospect, defense, healthcare, and education should be a shared responsibility within the kingdom.